Hello. There's the lake at Binaco. Just about to go swimming.
Yeah.
There's Uncle Brian in his boat.
Got the same color. Not the same color, not the same boat. It's very tiny. Look at that. It doesn't even look real. Does it?
What doesn't look real?
The cliff.
The cliff? It looks pretty real to me.
I know. It's just... This is very steep. There's some flip-flops. Kyle. Kyle. Kyle.
2 after supper swim. A 140-year-old log cabin. We're at the Narrows.
Yes, we are. Very beautiful sunset as well.
How high do you think that rock is, Kyle?
A couple 100 feet.
Over 100 anyway.
Yep. No! Grandpa!
What? We don't care if we hit the rock. We're nice and close.
Grandpa. Helmets! Go with one way.
I'm getting seasick. That's a nice cliff up there.
Yeah, it really is. Hi, I'll take a video. Grandpa's taking one. Oh, hi. I did not know that. I know, we're splitting it between ourselves so we can do it.
And Grandma's over there in that cove.
It's cool it overhangs. Somewhere, yeah. Petroglyph so far, and we are coming up on that thing. A little scary looking.
Yeah.
I want to see what that thing says. It says old something. Okay, that's a bit scary. It's hard to do this stuff in a Kyle, look up.
Okay, we're right underneath that big cliff now.
Isn't that pretty scary?
No jumping from the cliff, Avery, sorry.
Well, we do still get to jump from cliff. Yeah, we still get to jump from cliff, but not here. It says Old Walt. Old Walt, 1819 to 1913. I called to the den once to deal. Oh, Walt. He races tribute. I don't know. It's hard to read. Foretold is then on, and Mortning
I know the amplitude of time. Signed by John Brown.
This is a very, very large display. Oh yeah, Avery, they do have hooks.
Huh?
They do have hooks to climb.
They have those metal things.
I believe that those clips were for the men who hung on a scaffold in order to do that. Yeah.
Probably.
So you can see the chains there, and they would hang off a platform and do the carving.
I see feathers. It's much easier to see in the water.
If you say so.
Bunch of feathers, another little
Oh, there's
man.
some over there.
Yep, it's everywhere.
And there's a bunch of white rectangles over there.
We are directly under the overhang.
See, there's a bunch of white circles over
And
there.
here we are. Bunch more petroglyphs. Another little man.
Why are you driving us into the rocks?
Oh no, Avery's gonna make us crash into the rocks.
No, they're not.
Okay, there we are. And yeah, a very large
See, Grandma?
petroglyph as well.
There's
A bit more there.
It looks
And
like
we
it's
are
almost-
now under the overhang.
See, Grandpa? There's a bunch of
It's
white
scary looking
Yeah,
up.
I see them.
ones, and then there's red.
At the canoe.
Say that again.
We're in a cave, but we managed to get out of the canoe, which is
I'm
surprising.
shaking.
Yeah,
Guys, gonna die.
Oh, someone made a little campfire here.
Avery, you're taking us into a little cove.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to. Is that a tree?
Avery, you're paddling forwards. That's how. And no, that's a giant vein of quartz that we just went over top of.
And another 200 or 300 feet cliff right over our head.
Hang on, Avery, just hold on. We'll just bump this.
It looks like it says the sun is directly up on top of this cliff. Maybe if you climb this cliff, you can touch the sun.
Maybe that's what their belief was, yeah. And a little animal. I think that's, yeah, that looks like an animal of some sorts there.
Not sure what this is.
It looks like a dragonfly.
Yeah, I think it looks like a dragonfly. More stuff here. We're
It doesn't
actually
look like a zebra.
about to hit the side, if you can believe it.
I still think it looks like a camel in a corral.
Yeah,
How else
Grandpa
is it
thinks
circus?
that looks like a camel. I think it looks like one of their houses.
It does.
And if I can actually find it, it's kind of hard to film on a canoe, but there looks like another one there, just it's more faded. Putting on a new copper roof over there. I like the green copper better.
Can you feel the heat?
Yes, it's very warm.
That touch water.
No, don't touch the water. You might fall in. These are all the plaques of the provinces. Avery is part of a statue.
Absolutely.
It's the Queen and her pet bird. Where's your helmet?
What?
Where's your helmet?
I don't have one.
What's Avery got? Oh, Avery's got the shield. Pretty heavy?
Yes, I don't know if you have time right now to take a picture, but once they've changed, you can go. Yes. About
So we'll be moving down this hall for the Senate.
There's a library up there.
All around the room, all the monarchs of Canada, up until Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, our current Queen of Canada. So she's our head of state right now. And her worship's a lot smaller, mostly because it's not a coronation worship, but some people like to say theorizing. Actually, between Queen Elizabeth II and Queen Victoria, it's about 100 years of of their reign together combined. And on September the 9th, they'll be when Queen Victoria in their if you take a look up on the ceiling here, you'll see the different shields of the provinces and territories of Canada. A look for all the names. So they instead put Quebec, the word Quebec here, which means someone in French. But again, not very well thought out because
This is the Senate. Up on the ceiling here, you'll see different symbols to represent Canada's ties with different countries, like Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England, and France. And the three maple leaves are to represent the peoples of Canada. The gold that you see in each individual panel is real gold leaf that they used and not paint. So you can see they used paint on the actual ceiling, but in each panel they used gold leaf. So kind of to show kind of a contrast, I guess you could say. The light gives it a really nice effect, I think. And on either side here on the walls, you'll see the different, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the tour, the paintings to commemorate the First World War. So they're part of a larger collection. There's about 1,000 more at the War Museum, this one being the second largest collection in the world. So yeah, and I think the first collection being the Imperial Collection in London. So these are just 8 that are part of the War Museum collection. Region, 24 for the West, 24 for Ontario, 24 for Quebec, and 24 for the Maritimes, along with 6 for Newfoundland, when Newfoundland joined Confederation in 1949, and 1 for each territory. So 105 in total. And 3 thrones in the back. The biggest one is from Her Majesty's Queen, or His Excellency the Right Honourable David Johnston, who is the Governor General, who is her representative in Canada. And the one next to hers
is next to the Queen's is for Prince Philip, so her husband, or His Excellency's wife, and the one in front is for the Speaker of the Senate. So right now it's the Honorable Leo Sackos, who is of the Conservative Party, who was appointed about 3 months ago now for the French to commemorate the French culture as one of the founding cultures of Canada, along with the Aboriginals and of course the British. So this is one of the rooms for that. This used to be the old smoking room of the Senate. That's why the style is of English style, so it doesn't really fit in with what it represents today. The House of Commons smoking room, the old smoking room of the House of Commons, is now the Commonwealth room that you might have seen as you walked up the stairs after the intro.
Ava likes the flowers. What river is this? The Gatineau River?
Yes, it's the Gatineau River.
Okay, so this is going over Gatineau River. Which is... Did it? No. Did it? Yes.
Because there's only wood that's squared.
No, there's giant concrete pillars. In fact, speaking of them, there's one right up here. Oh, you can see the water. You can see the water.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Avery, try not to fall in. Your mother would not be amused.
Oh, hi. Hey.
Hello.
Like that?
Yep, yeah, it's like frisbee football, except you try to get it in that ring there. I don't know where the other one is. Maybe there's only one.
Over there.
Over there.
Oh, good gravy. That would be a long throw.
Yeah.
Oh. Stay within sight of Owl. This side of the two islands?
Yep.
Huh. So I guess you can just grab a jacket and go.
Yeah.
Grandma caught up to us. Come back!
This isn't too bad.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice.
These life jackets aren't very comfy.
I'm nervous and excited at the exact same time. I'm not
It's getting warm, that's nice. You said the water was like 22 degrees? That's like
I know,
over
I got
70.
a bit of splashback from the paddle.
Down, kinda. Want me to go watch it?
Yeah. I'll stay here.
Here's the...
I did it. I officially did it.
Good job. Was that fun?
Yes.
Now what are you going to do?
I'm standing.
Stand up, paddle?
Mom, do you want to come on the Saturday and have to do that? Oh, that's Robbie.
Connor, what did I tell you about standing on the boat?
Because they'd fallen over and nobody knew where they were supposed
Jane
to go anymore, so to keep
is your
them from
great, great,
deteriorating
great,
anymore,
great, great
they brought them
grandmother.
here. See? In memory of...
What does it say?
What's this behind here?
Can you read it?
Just another piece?
Yeah.
Read it, Avery. Might not be able to see it on the movie. Can you read it? In memory,
Of Jane
man.
Mann, wife of John Riley, died
See that one there?
April.
well,
That's
April
the headstone of your
17.
great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Yep. What was the year?
Wife of John Riley.
Looks like 1870.
First
And
one.
she was 68 years old.
First one of the cemetery.
Died 1875.
Is it 75?
Yeah, it's 1875
Okay.
at 68. Rileys, and these were all people that would have come from, been related to you, to us, to
one of the oldest hospitals in North America. It's mis ici à droite, c'est un des plus vieux hôpitaux en Amérique du Nord. There has been a hospital on that site for about 400 years. Il y a un hôpital à cet endroit-là depuis environ 400 ans. Founded in 1644 by the Augustine nuns. Ça a été fondé en 1640. Those are the old military barracks. That is where soldiers stay. Ce sont les anciennes barracks militaires. C'était la résidence des soldats. That building is considered unsafe. You cannot visit that. It was neglected for too long. Cette espèce-là, vous ne pouvez pas le visiter. First thing. À votre droite, vous avez une fontaine qui s'appelle Éclatement. This fountain is a reference to how much hydroelectricity we produce in the province here. Cette fontaine-là, c'est une référence à les piliers de l'autoroute. Il ne faut pas chercher midi à 14h, d'accord? Les piliers de l'autoroute étaient très laids. La ville a décidé de les peindre sur Saint-Roch, la statue en haut, c'est Saint-Roch avec son chien parce qu'on dit que son chien lui a sauvé la vie. Moi, j'ai plus de place en haut, Jack. So the story is that he had leprosy, was segregated from the community, and his dog brought him food. Right? Personally, I don't believe that. I've never seen a dog to whom you give food and just going to bring it to somebody else. Well, she's almost sweeping one of those lines. All right. So, inside, right here, this is where Quebec City was founded in 1608. Ici, Québec a été fondé en 1608. Best location, take a picture of the Château Frontenac on this street corner right here. Le meilleur endroit pour prendre une photo du Château Frontenac, c'est juste ici. And the oldest part of the city you cannot visit by bus. You need to do it on foot. For some reason, the first settlers never thought of making roads wide enough for cars. Donc, le secteur à droite, là, vous devez le visiter à pied. Il ne faut pas le faire en autobus. Les premiers colons, je ne sais pas pourquoi ils n'avaient pas pensé à faire de la place pour les chars. Behind the buildings on the right-hand side, there's a pedestrian street. That street was voted about. C'est la rue du Petit Champlain qui est une rue piétonne. 300 feet high. There's a cliff like this on 3 sides of the city, which makes Quebec City a natural fortress. Imagine that it's very hard to attack. À droite, il y a une falaise qui fait environ 100 mètres. Cette falaise est là sur tous les côtés de la ville, qui fait en sorte que Québec est une forteresse naturelle. That's the definition. Si vous avez besoin de définir Québec, Québec c'est une forteresse naturelle avec une vue plongeante sur l'endroit le plus étroit du fleuve. C'est ça la définition. When you have a green roof like that with yellow streaks on it, that means that that roof is at the end of its life. It's going to start breaking down. So you're going to need to replace that roof, which means it's about 100 years old. Donc, donc ce toit-là, vous voyez, il est vert pâle avec des lignes jaunes. Là, il va falloir le remplacer. Il commence à être fatigué. Okay. Does this building remind you of another building that you saw earlier today? Ça fait penser à un autre bâtiment que vous avez vu aujourd'hui. Château Frontenac. That's the right answer. It's not a something called Château Frontenac. There's a good reason why the train station and the Château Frontenac look alike. It's because the Château Frontenac was built by a railway company. It was built by the Canadian Pacific Railway. Donc la gare de train. The building that looks like a church is a genuine green roof. Pretty much every other green roof is a fake one. Good question. Because of the climate that we have around here, if you're living in a poorly insulated house, 16, 17, 1800s, you have a fire going pretty much 6 months out of the year. On the days when it's coldest, you make a larger fire than usual. Those are the days when you end up with a chimney fire. And the first thing that catches fire when you have a chimney fire is the roof. And the roofs used to be made out of cedar shingles. So the cedar shingles would catch fire and then spread the... Anybody for 7? Parce que j'ai déjà pour le 7. Typical Victorian architecture. Donc les édifices à gauche, là, de l'autre côté de la rue, ça c'est... L'église à gauche, c'est le meilleur exemple que je peux vous donner que les Québécois ne vont plus à l'église. Cette église-là, elle est à vendre. Elle est à vendre depuis 2 ans. Biggest problem with one of those buildings is heating it in the winter time. Those buildings are poorly insulated and the ceilings are very high. Donc un des plus gros problèmes avec un bâtiment. Lots of nice restaurants on the street. You want to check the menu before you go in. Prices vary a lot on this street. Donc ici, il y a beaucoup de restaurants. D'accord? Si vous voulez venir manger ici, je vous invite à regarder le menu avant d'entrer. Les prix varient beaucoup d'un restaurant à l'autre. Anybody home was destroyed by a fire in 2008. L'édifice a été détruit par un incendie en 2008. I guess this is the ironic part of the trip. The reason why that building was destroyed by a fire is because they were trying to put in a sprinkler system. Left-hand side is the provincial parliament. À votre gauche, c'est le parlement provincial. The French style of architecture, Second Empire style. Ça, c'est une architecture très française de style Second Empire. Now we're on the Plains of Abraham. This is a federal park, which was created about 100 years ago. Ici, on est sur les plaines d'Abraham, qui est un parc fédéral qui a été créé il y a environ 100 ans. The name Abraham comes from Abraham Martin, who was one of the first settlers. He came to raise his animals here. Le nom Abraham vient de Abraham Martin, qui était un des premiers colons qui amenait ses animaux au pâturage ici. Always the windiest part of the tour, guys. Hold on to your hats. Toujours le secteur le plus venteux, faites attention pour chaque. They're just repointing, I guess the proper term, redoing the masonry on the citadel. Okay, when we started the tour, I told you that Quebec City is a natural fortress looking over the narrowest part of the Vous avez un canon à votre droite. Everybody understands that from here you can shoot down a ship on the river, right? Everybody gets that. Tout le monde comprend qu'à partir d'ici on peut abattre un navire sur le fleuve. We don't usually shoot down more than one cruise ship per season.
Good.
Walk all the way down.
That museum have contemporary art too?
Yep. Right-hand side is the citadel, basically a fortress built by the British. À droite, c'est la citadelle, qui est essentiellement une forteresse qui a été construite par les Britanniques. Still a huge undertaking. Took 11 years to build this thing. Donc c'est un projet gigantesque, ça a pris 11 ans à bâtir la citadelle. It is still in use, by the way, by the 22nd Regiment. Donc la citadelle est toujours... Ici, ça, c'est le jardin Jeanne d'Arc. This is a gift from the woman who made the statue in the middle of the garden. Donc ça, c'est un cadeau de la femme qui a fait la statue au centre du jardin. On the left-hand side, on the left-hand side in the distance, that is a marsh structure. Actually, you have another one on the right-hand side. It's just harder to see because of the trees. Vous en avez une autre à droite, mais juste plus difficile à voir à cause des arbres. Usually, you would have found two cannons at the top of those towers, rotating 360 degrees. Bon, là, vous auriez trouvé deux canons au sommet de chaque tour comme ça qui tournaient sur 360 degrés. General Wolfe comes up the river in June 1759, decides to set up his cannons across the river. From here, starts bombarding Quebec City day and night for the months of June, July, and August 1759. By the end of the summer, most of the buildings in the city are destroyed, which is why a good number of the buildings that you're looking at today in the old district are not French buildings, they are British buildings, because a good number of the French buildings were destroyed during the summer of 1759. On cette side, the city jail. L'édifice plus foncé à votre droite, ça a déjà été la prison de la ville. Now it's part of the Fine Arts Museum, which is right next to it. Donc ça, aujourd'hui, ça fait partie du musée des Beaux-Arts. The British decide to attack the city one last time. They're going to go all out. It's their last attempt. En septembre 1759, les Britanniques décident d'attaquer la ville un dernier coup. Ils vont mettre le paquet, c'est leur dernière tentative. The plan that they come up with, there's another cliff over here on the left-hand side. We'll see it better when we keep on driving. So what they decide to do drop thousands of men at the bottom of the cliff on the left-hand side. Those men are going to scale the cliff during the night, gather on the flat piece of land on the right-hand side over here. Thousands of men coming up that cliff, gathering on the flat piece of land on the right-hand side. Historians debate whether or not there were picnic tables on the plains back then. Ce que font les Britanniques pour le 13 septembre 1759. D'accord, ils déposent des milliers d'hommes au pied de la falaise que vous avez à votre gauche. Les hommes vont escalader la falaise pendant la nuit. Ils vont se réunir sur le terrain plat qui est à votre droite. On va derrière vous. Les historiens ne sont pas sûrs si dans le temps il y avait des tables à pique-nique, c'est plein de bras. Reason why that plan of attack is going to work. The French general makes one major mistake. Mistake that he makes when he learns that the British are on the plains of Abraham. At that particular moment, he's sitting on top of a cliff inside a fortified position. Normal thing to do under those circumstances, stay on your position, let the British come to you. That's where you're going to have the upper hand. But he decides to gather his troops, walk out of the fortress, and meet the British here in open field. And they get killed. That's pretty much the end of France and North America. Major mistake by the French general. Moi j'ai des gens pour le 10. Oh, on oublie ça, j'ai plus personne pour le 10. General Wolfe dies the same day. French General, Général Montcalm, dies the following morning. Donc le général Wolfe meurt le jour même et le général français, le général Montcalm, meurt le lendemain matin. No more room up here, folks. Moi, j'ai plus de place en haut. C'est un autre exemple que les Québécois font faire à l'église. Cette église-là a été fermée il y a environ 2 mois. The community could no longer afford to maintain the building, decided to close it. La communauté n'avait plus les moyens d'entretenir le bâtiment, on a décidé de le fermer. If you wanted, pas encore. If you wanted to fix that building, you would need $10 million. Pour réparer ce bâtiment-là, vous auriez besoin de $10 millions. It is no longer a church, now it's a library. L'église à droite, ce n'est plus une église, c'est maintenant une bibliothèque. Driving around. Metropolitan area population is 750,000 people. So Quebec City is not a big city. Unemployment rate here is the lowest unemployment rate in Canada. It is 4% unemployment rate. It's exceptionally low. Okay, if you look at the windows on the right-hand side, you're going to see a lot of windows are still made out of wood. So regardez les fenêtres à droite, vous allez voir qu'il y a beaucoup de fenêtres qui sont encore faites de bois. That's because there's a bylaw for this part of the city here, which basically requires that you keep the area historical looking. Basically what that means is on the outside of the buildings, you need to keep going with the original materials. So for example, if you're taking out an old wooden window, you need to put in a new wooden window. You can't buy a PVC or aluminum window, the city will not allow it. This way the area remains. That's also why earlier I mentioned that the aluminum roof sort of threw me off because it's not a historical material.
Does that help?
Alors c'est un peu pour ça que tout à l'heure je disais que le toit en aluminium, je le trouve un peu déconcertant parce que l'aluminium ce n'est pas un matériau historique. Right inside the City Hall, what's this? The Hotel de Ville. Tall building that's going to show up behind City Hall will be the Price Building. L'édifice, l'espèce de gratte-ciel derrière l'Hôtel de Ville, c'est l'édifice Price. The Price Building was built at the same time, same style as the Empire State Building in New York City. Donc l'édifice Price a été construit le même style, la même époque que l'Empire State Building de New York. There's a glass building. Vous avez une horloge ici à droite à l'intérieur d'un édifice en verre, juste là à votre droite. That clock is worth $500,000, was given by Switzerland. Ironically, it does not keep track of time properly, and they're trying to fix it. I kid you not. L'horloge à droite, c'est un cadeau de la Suisse. Il vaut $1,5 million. Et ce qui est assez particulier, c'est la prison de la ville. You can still visit cells that go back to the 1800s. That's very impressive. On peut encore visiter des cellules qui remontent aux années 1800, c'est très impressionnant. Okay, now for the $100 question. I'm going to start by saying that I don't have $100 on me, all right? How come we still speak French? We were conquered by the British. How do you think about that for a minute? La question à $100. Comment ça se fait qu'on parle encore français? Ça a été conquis par les Britanniques. Je vais laisser penser à ça 2 minutes. So I'll let you think about that for a minute. Most people think that the fortifications are French. Actually, no. Most fortifications around Quebec City are British. Les fortifications à droite, la plupart des gens pensent que les fortifications sont françaises. La réalité, c'est que la plupart des fortifications de Québec sont britanniques. I beg your pardon? In the natives, no. Natives are no match. The Americans is the right answer because the American Revolution starts not long after the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. Les Britanniques, ils ont peur des Américains parce que la Révolution... We're going to be exiting the old district through the Saint Louis Gate. There's a small gate next to the Saint Louis Gate on the right-hand side. On va passer par la porte Saint-Louis, qui est la grande porte. Vous avez une petite porte tout juste à côté de la porte Saint-Louis à droite. Small gate on the right-hand side is the original gate. La petite porte à droite ici, ça c'est la porte d'origine. When you see gates that are this big, like the one we're driving through, those gates are never historical. They've been modified to accommodate for modern transit. Vous voyez, des portes de cette dimension-là, ces portes-là ne sont jamais d'origine. Elles ont été modifiées pour permettre le transport moderne. And you can imagine that driving a double-decker bus through the original gate might be a problem. Yeah. Donc, tout le monde comprend que passer un autobus à 2 étages dans la porte d'origine, ça pourrait être un problème. Actually, that's the reason why we kept our city walls, is because we modified the gates. Late 1800s, the locals are tearing down the city walls to let traffic through. Donc, la raison pour laquelle on a conservé nos fortifications, c'est parce que between 1759 and 1871. Left-hand side over here is a beautiful fountain, which is a gift by the Simons family. À gauche ici, vous avez une fontaine qui est la fontaine de Tony, qui est un cadeau de la famille Simons. Unfortunately, it's not working right now. Don't know why. Fonctionne pas présentement, je sais pas pourquoi. Used to be in Bordeaux, France, by the way. Cette fontaine-là était autrefois à Bordeaux, en France. Right-hand side is the front of the Parliament building. À droite, ça, c'est le devant de l'Assemblée nationale, le Parlement provincial. Ouais, faisons le poulet de canon, Jean. On est à l'avance. Faisons le poulet de canon, prenons notre temps. Tu peux t'arrêter devant le poulet si tu veux, ça me dérange pas. Là, tu peux raconter du stock en masse.
Right here.
Alright, there's something underneath the roots of the tree on the right-hand side. Cherchez quelque chose sous les racines de l'arbre à droite. Jean, je vais te demander de t'arrêter, faire un arrêt complet, puis je vais demander aux gens qui veulent se lever, qui peuvent le faire. Okay, the driver's made a full stop. If you want to get up, take a look, you can do it now. Donc là, on a fait un arrêt complet. Si vous voulez vous regarder à droite, là, vous pouvez le faire maintenant.
What is it?
Vraiment, Jack, tu vas le temps de bouger, là, j'ai plein de gens debout, tu lâches pas les briques. There's a cannonball underneath the roots of that tree. Vous avez un boulet de canon sous les racines de l'arbre. Construit en 1675. Typical Normandy or Brittany style of construction because that's where the first settlers were coming from. Construction typiquement normande ou bretonne parce que c'est de là d'où venaient les premiers colons. And you notice that the roof is very steep. That's because when the first settlers come here, not expecting the amount of snow that we get, roofs are caving in the winter time. So some of them made the roof steeper to deal with that. Donc le toit a une pente très prononcée parce que quand les premiers colons arrivent ici, ils ne s'attendent pas à recevoir autant de neige.
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, dames et messieurs, respectable plaisir collecteur, chers adversaires, let's begin the show, que le spectacle commence.
Too hard?
all the metal things there at the gates up, and I asked the guys if that went. And the reception should be really looking into those gates. It should be there. All was lit up. Anyways, the guys can't. There's a wedding, and I thought there's guards in that there. There's bodyguards. Just as they're burning. Oh, I didn't.
Right down in front.
Avery, look for fireplace. Ooh. You have to find these. What? These things. The fireplace. What page is it? It's challenge yourself. It's like the first page.
That looks like a fireplace over there with a whole bunch of sand or something in where the hearth would be, doesn't it?
Hey, it looks like there's one over there as well, all the bricks and stuff, Grandpa.
Yes, it could be.
1771 to 1854. No, it was actually part of...
Avery, there's a picture of you climbing over the wall. And there's some wax for the seal.
Of 200 pounds. It's really big. Two men need to transfer this kind of bone in the mortar, and after they shoot the mortar. And the distance of the shoot is 4 kilometers. And after this kind of bone can explode in the air or inside of the house.
What's next? Doing your homework, Kyle?
Sort of.
What do you do?
Chamber pot, yeah. And little bottles of perfume. What's number 13 and 14? Wash basin and a water jug. Wow.
It's hard to walk in.
Nice pearls. What is it? A bottle? Maybe a bottle by the flat bottom it's got on it.
Okay, you have to write in there.